path I was on. I was breathless, my heart restless. Every turn felt like it was wrong, but
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video, and today I have a treat for you guys, and by you guys I mean me, because I'm used to driving super uncomfortable lowered fast cars. Going the other way this time, boys. So what we have today is a 1999 Lexus GS300, more specifically my 1999 Lexus GS300. If you guys want to watch the video on kind of the story of me getting this car, I'll link it below. Basically, long story short, it was my great-grandmother's car. She bought it brand new forever ago. Passed away a few years ago, and it's been kind of sitting at my grandparents' house, not really being touched. And so instead of selling it, I asked my grandmother if I could have it. And so here we go. It's my daily driver. The Mustang kind of sits at home now, and I drive this every day, which is awesome. So let's kind of get into it a little bit. First things first, you have to understand, this is not a sports car by almost any stretch of the word. It's not fast, it doesn't turn well, it weighs about 36 tons, and it's really slow, but it's perfect. You have to remember, this is a luxury car. Now, I mean, I don't know this for sure, and I'm sure some people will argue this, but this car was kind of king of its class back in the late 90s and early 2000s when it came out. It had a lot of features some of the other big competitors didn't. Now, I'm sure it was missing some things that, you know, some of the German boys had, but for what you get, especially it being as old as it is and all the stuff that it has on it now, a lot of the things and features that this car has on it now, you know, there's some modern cars that don't even have that. Now, I get it, this is a luxury car, this is set up differently than, you know, say a Mustang or a Camaro or blah, blah, blah. But the fact remains that even though this car is, how old is this car? 99, 2009, this car is what, 19 years old? This car is pushing 20 years old. Next year, this car will be 20. And, I mean, obviously I'm not that old, but it blows my mind that, you know, 20-year-old cars have this kind of stuff on it. So starting with the interior of the car, this is, man, this, the interior is the bee's knees of this car. This is that's the part that I probably love the most about it. The outside looks pretty, but that's not what I'm talking about yet. I mean, the inside of the car, it's just, it's so comfy and nice. I feel like that's the word that was thrown around all the time when this car was being designed, was nice. Oh, hey, that's nice. Oh, this is nice. This is so nice. I feel like nice is the word. I mean, from this faux, it might be real wood. It's probably fake. It feels fake. From the fake wood to the ultimate squishy seat. I mean, just think of the most comfortable chair at your grandparents' house. That's what I'm sitting on right now, and my butt's super happy and it's rewarding me for it. And then of course everything's electric. You don't have to work out at all to drive this car. The seats are all electric. You have lumbar, which is electric. You have the steering wheel, which is electric, you know, tilt and telescopic. You have, I mean, just everything, the AC, you have auto, you have dual climate AC. I mean, the car, you know, without steering and braking, will virtually drive itself. It is the most comfortable car in the world to drive. The only negative mark I'll give the interior, and again, this is more so a timing period thing and not so much the car's fault. Everything's kind of the same color. I guess the word contrast hadn't really been invented yet, because you have this, which that's nice, and there's a little bit more of that on the center console, so the little wood touch is nice, but then everything else is virtually the same shade of gray, or beige-ish gray. I'm not quite sure what color you want to call it, but that's pretty much it. Like I said, not a problem with the car, problem with the time. People had bad taste back then. I'm just kidding. Well, so before I impress you guys with all the toys on it, let's see what she'll do. So fast! Woo! That's a smooth 40. It's, I'm gonna use a Rolls-Royce term here. The power this car has is adequate. It's not fast. It's not underpowered though. I mean, it'll put you where you need to be. But like I said, you know, this 36 tons is what this car weighs. So it's big and it feels big, and but it works. Let's do that one more time. That's really not bad. So what you're dealing with up front is Toyota's, and we're gonna call it legendary because I feel like this motor has reached legendary status. There's not many that have, but Toyota's 3-liter inline 6 2J platform. And listen, that's why I think this car is so cool. One thing I've noticed is, you know, these cars kind of have a cult following to them. And that engine's why. I mean, because it essentially gets you doesn't get you a Supra, but it gets you a 2J without paying the astronomical price of a Supra. So you can do all the same stuff you can do to a Supra to this thing, and you can still make this unbelievably fast. I've seen 1,000 horsepower GSs running around, and GS stands for Grand Sedan, by the way. I just actually learned that this morning, and as I was kind of just researching for this video. But you know, so you can give this thing an amazing amount of horsepower, and it sounds amazing once, you know, once it's super fast and has big turbos on it. But I think that's the whole reason why this car is cool, is it gets you a Supra without the Supra price tag. And you know, some might, you know, think that's kind of a cop out, but it is, but it's okay. You know, I love the way the outside looks. You know, as I was, you know, doing a little homework on it, and one thing that I read was that it said over 150 people designed the outside of this car. I'm not sure how many, you know, 150 people might have put their names down. I don't know how many showed up, because it looks like it's a pretty simple car. I mean, it's nice. It's got, you know, 4 lights up front. It's got tail lights. It's got a roof, sunroof, which is square like most of them, and it's nice. I don't know why you would need that many people to design a car like this, but apparently that's how many they used. Little useless fun fact for you. But I do like the way the outside of the car looks. It's simple, you know, and I guess there's not a whole lot of other descriptive words for it, because it is simple. It's just a very clean look. You know, here we are almost 20 years later, and I at least personally think the car still looks good. Now, it doesn't have the same, you know, it's not as edgy as Lexus is now, and it's not as angular as, you know, most, you know, big sedans are now, but, you know, it's correct with the times. And I think it looks, you know, really, really good still. You know, obviously I'm a little partial to it because I own it, but I think it's a pretty handsome little car. I don't really think there's a whole lot more to say other than that. The handling, though, on this thing is almost exactly what you would expect it to be. It's like trying to turn an apartment building. It is very big, it's very boaty, and there's no hiding it. I mean, maybe you could do things to make it handle a little bit better, but why? I mean, there's, you know, I've seen people, you know, lower these things and put big crazy wheels on them, but dude, that ruins the whole point of this car, because, you know, going back to just the way the car feels, it is, and I'm not kidding when I say this, the most comfortable car I've probably ever been in. SUV, sports car, what have you. They don't get much more comfy than this. It rides so smooth, the steering input's so easy, and then it's a Toyota, so you know it's gonna last forever. So all that being said, well, I will probably do some stuff to it eventually. The wheels, I think are hideous. It needs, you know, at least a set of 17, 18-inch wheels, something to at least modern the look a little bit more. The radio in it is completely terrible. I don't know if it was terrible from the factory or if it's just 20 years old and is terrible now, but it is pretty bad. So we'll need to upgrade the head unit and probably the speakers. You know, other than that, the interior, there's not a whole lot of imperfections on it. I mean, of course, being a Toyota, everything works, and everything works perfectly. The leather's perfect on it still. There's no cracks in the dash. I mean, the car is aged, in my opinion, very well. I mean, you have dual zone climate control, cruise control, you have, you know, your presets over here on the door. All the windows are automatic. You know, the sunroof, you have auto dimming mirrors and the rearview mirror. You have garage button openers down here. I mean, there's not a whole lot more. You have 6-disc CD changer for those of you guys that still listen to CDs, and but it's perfect. I mean, there's literally not a single thing I would change about this car other than probably the wheels. It does get the good car stamp of approval, though. It is probably one of my favorite cars, and I will probably never ever get rid of this car, mostly because of the sentimental value on it, but also because it is just that good of a car. But that's it, guys. I think I pretty much have said everything I need to say. This is kind of a weird review because, you know, most of my reviews are just me flooring it and screaming and laughing and making weird giggly noises, but it's hard to do because it's not an exciting car by any means. But so I've had to do like 37 retakes of everything I've tried to say, so it's been a pain in the butt. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I know I certainly love this car a lot. So if you guys have any questions on it, let me know. I would be more than happy to answer them. And I will see you guys in the next video. So until I see y'all then, bye.